Hi guys, welcome to another lecture. Today I'm going to do a couple of questions based on the properties of sides of a triangle. We have discussed about the properties, so let's apply it. If sides of a triangle are 6 units and 8 units, units could be centimeter or any other unit. 6 units, 8 units. How many integer values are possible for the third side? Okay, so what we can do here is, let us suppose let the third side be x units. Okay. So if the third side is x units, what do we know about sides of a triangle? No matter what kind of a triangle it is, we know that one particular side will always be lesser than the sum of the other two sides. And we also know that the difference between two sides will always be lesser than the third side. So that is what we can apply here. So third side is x units. Now, we know from the difference property, the absolute difference between two sides is less than the third side. So therefore, absolute difference between 6 and 8 will be less than the third side. I am taking absolute because side length can never be negative, right? So it's like distance. So it can never be negative. So that's why you take absolute. Also, we know that the sum of two sides is always greater than the third side, right? So we will apply that also. So 6 plus 8 is greater than x. So from here we get 2 is less than x. And from here we get 14 is greater than x. So what do we actually get to know from here? We get to know from here that ultimately x should be some value between 2 and 14. Ultimately, x has to be something between 2 and 14. So what integers come between 2 and 14? 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, till 13. In other words, it would be 11. How do I get 11? You have 13 and 3. So 13 minus 3 plus 1. So that's going to give you 11. Okay. So 11 possible values are there. In case it would have been an MCQ, how many integers we could have put in some options out here. We could have said, okay, 2, 8, 10, 11. The correct answer would have been 11. Okay. So 11 possible values are there. Now, in the same question, let's tweak it a bit. So in the same question, what I'm going to do, same question, same values, but additional information is there. That it's an obtuse triangle. Same question for an obtuse angled triangle. So if this is an obtuse angled triangle, what I can do? What I can use here? In terms of sides, what do we know? If C is the largest side, then we know that in an obtuse angled triangle, C square would be greater than A square plus B square. Okay. Now the information that we have is that we have sides x, 6 and 8. These are the sides. We don't know which is the largest side. So there are two possibilities. The possibilities are x is largest and the other possibility is 8 is largest. Of course, 6 cannot be the largest because 6, 8 में हमारे पास, of course, 8 is bigger, right? तो either your x could be largest side or 8 is largest. So in case x is largest, we would know that x square is greater than 6 square plus 8 square. In other words, x square is greater than 36 plus 64, and that means 10 square, because that will give you, of course, 100. So x square is greater than 10 square, right? If x square is greater than 10 square, then x has to be greater than or equal to 11. That's in terms of integer, that's the only possibility, right? So it has to be greater than or equal to 11. Now we know from the previous case, this is for any kind of triangle. So it's true for even obtuse angle triangle, okay? So keep in mind that x is between 2 and 14. So from this case, we get x can take values 11, 12, 13, okay? In case 8 is the largest, if 8 is the largest, then 8 square should be greater than x square plus 6 square. That means x square is less than 8 square minus 6 square. That means it's less than 64 minus 36. 64 minus 36. So this means that x square turns out to be strictly less than 28. अच्छा, 28 से पहले perfect square कौन सा आता है? It is 25. So 25 is lesser than 28. So we can say that x square is less than or equal to 25. So we can say that x is less than or equal to 5. Now again, keep in mind that x is between 2 and 14, strictly between 2 and 14, which means that it can be between 3 and 13, including 3 and 13. अच्छा, 3 से 13 के बीच में less than 5, less than or equal to 5 क्या numbers आते हैं? 3, 4, 5. So what can happen is either it is taking values 11, 12, 13, or it can take values 3, 4, 5. Don't in 6 के 6 cases में what is happening? You will have an obtuse angled triangle. Okay. In all these 6 cases, you will have an obtuse angle triangle. So what we've done here is a couple of applications, keeping in mind the sides of a triangle. Okay.